The User Research Toolkit, Best Practices for Analyzing, Interpreting, and Acting on Insights. Hello and welcome to today's video on the User Research Toolkit, Best Practices for Analyzing, Interpreting, and Acting on Insights. In this video, I will be sharing with you my top tips and best practices for conducting user research, analyzing the data, interpreting the insights, and most importantly, taking action on those insights while adhering to accessibility and GDS principles. 1. Planning and conducting user research. When planning and conducting user research, it is important to keep accessibility and GDS principles in mind. Accessibility is a critical component of user research and must be considered throughout the research process. This means ensuring that your research is accessible to all users, regardless of their abilities, and adheres to government guidelines for creating digital services. To ensure accessibility, consider the needs of users with disabilities and make adjustments as needed. This may include providing alternative formats for materials, such as Braille or audio, and ensuring that your research sessions are accessible to those who may need additional support or accommodations. Additionally, when recruiting participants for your study, ensure that they are representative of your target user group, including those with disabilities or who may use assistive technologies. This will help ensure that your research is inclusive and accessible to all users. To ensure that your research adheres to GDS principles, start by identifying the problem you are trying to solve, and then use a user-centered design approach to develop your research plan. This means putting the user at the center of your research, and focusing on their needs and goals. Another important consideration is to ensure that your research methods are appropriate for the type of data you want to collect. Different types of research methods may be more effective for collecting qualitative or quantitative data, or for understanding different aspects of the user experience. 2. Analyzing user research data. When analyzing user research data, it is important to use tools and techniques that are accessible to all users. This may include using screen readers or other assistive technologies, providing alternative formats for materials, and ensuring that your data visualizations are accessible to users with visual impairments. Additionally, it is important to use plain language when presenting your findings. This means avoiding jargon or technical terms that may be difficult for some users to understand. When presenting your data, consider using clear and concise language, and providing additional context or explanations as needed. One useful technique for analyzing user research data is affinity mapping. Affinity mapping is a process of grouping insights and observations into categories or themes. This can help you identify patterns in the data and make sense of the information you have collected. Another useful tool for analyzing user research data is the Pareto chart. A Pareto chart is a type of bar chart that displays the frequency of problems or issues in descending order of severity. This can help you identify the most important issues to address when making changes to your digital service. 3. Interpreting user research insights. When interpreting user research insights, it is important to consider the needs and perspectives of all users, including those with disabilities. This means ensuring that your insights are actionable and inclusive, and that they address the needs of all users, regardless of their abilities or backgrounds. To ensure that your insights are inclusive, consider using an intersectional approach to your analysis. This means considering how different factors, such as race, gender, or disability, may intersect and impact user needs and experiences. Additionally, when interpreting your insights, consider how they align with GDS principles for creating digital services. This includes ensuring that your service is user-centered, accessible, and transparent. One useful technique for interpreting user research insights is the Kano model. The Kano model is a tool for understanding customer satisfaction by categorizing features into 3 types: must-haves, satisfiers, and delighters. Must-haves are features that users expect and are necessary for the service to function properly. Satisfiers are features that enhance the user experience and can differentiate your service from competitors. Delighters are unexpected features that exceed user expectations and can create a positive emotional response. Using the Kano model can help you prioritize which features to focus on when making improvements to your service. Must-haves should be addressed first, followed by satisfiers and then delighters. 4. Acting on user research insights. Once you have analyzed and interpreted your user research data, it is important to take action on the insights you have gained. This means making changes to your digital service that address the needs and preferences of your users, including those with disabilities. When making changes to your service, consider using an agile approach, which involves iterative testing and feedback from users. This can help ensure that the changes you make are effective and align with user needs and expectations. Additionally, when implementing changes, ensure that they are accessible to all users, including those with disabilities. This may involve making adjustments to your service to ensure that it is compatible with assistive technologies, such as screen readers or magnification software. Finally, it is important to communicate any changes or updates to your users in a clear and transparent way. This may include providing information about the changes you have made, why they were made, and how they will impact the user experience. The User Research Toolkit: Best Practices for Analyzing, Interpreting, and Acting on Insights. In conclusion, conducting user research, analyzing the data, interpreting the insights, and taking action on those insights is critical to creating digital services that are accessible and inclusive to all users. By adhering to accessibility and GDS principles throughout the research process, using accessible tools and techniques for analyzing data, interpreting insights using an intersectional approach, and taking an agile approach to implementing changes, you can create digital services that meet the needs and preferences of all users, regardless of their abilities or backgrounds. Thank you for watching this video on the User Research Toolkit: Best Practices for Analyzing, Interpreting, and Acting on Insights.